With the regular season now behind us, it's time to give my award picks for the 2024 season. We'll go through MVP, All W, All Defensive Team, Rookie of the Year, and many more. To kick it off though, MVP, this should be very quick. It's A'ja Wilson, 27 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, almost 4 stocks per game as well, 54% from 2, 32% from 3, 84% from the line. Truly an elite all-time mid-range scorer, and also being able to counter that with her driving ability. If you close out hard, it's an easy drive. If you sag off, it's an easy mid-range pull-up or a catch-and-shoot jumper. Defending A'ja Wilson is almost impossible, and that's not even considering her defense as well. Has been one of the best defenders in the W this season as well. A'ja is my pick pretty easily, but I would also consider Napheesa Collier, Breanna Stewart, and Alyssa Thomas. Fee probably wins MVP in a normal season, but Asia's having one of the best individual seasons by a WNBA player pretty much ever, honestly. Then with the first team, like I said, Napheesa Collier, Alyssa Thomas, and Breanna Stewart join A'ja Wilson, but also Caitlin Clark joins this first team. Heading into maybe the last month and a half of the season, I had Sabrina Ionescu in that first team spot, but Caitlin's truly having one of the best rookie seasons ever, and not even just rookie seasons ever. This is one of the best seasons by a point guard ever. The pull-up shooting, the playmaking ability, also has been one of the best finishers in the W as well. She's changed this Indiana franchise from the bottom of the standings for many, many years to now being a 6 seed, and they're on an upward trajectory. It wouldn't surprise me if they host the first round next season. Now on to the second team. Like I said, I wish I could have Sabrina on my first team, but she is at the top of the second team. Also, Jackie Young would also have in this grouping Kalia Copper, Neko Gumake, and Jonquel Jones. It was pretty easy for me to come to 9 names. Neka's been awesome. Jonquel Jones has been much better than last season. The injuries, she's been great on both ends of the floor. The shooting, the driving, the finishing, extremely versatile. Same with Jackie Young, taking on more point guard duties with Chelsea Gray missing some time. The defense is pretty solid as well. The playmaking, the slashing, there's so much value to what Jackie Young can do. Neka is just stable. She just makes plays. She's consistent on both ends of the floor. As far as honorable mentions, I have Elena Smith out of Minnesota. It's actually a shame that she wasn't an all-star. Like, we're talking about one of the 10 best defenders in the league, also is a historic three-point shooter for a big, being able to space the floor, being able to play make from the post position. Minnesota's scheme would not work as well as it's worked in 2024 if it wasn't for her, and that goes undernoticed a lot of times because she's not some big household name, or she should be, hopefully, after this playoff run for Minnesota. Also have Ezi Magbegor. The issue with Ezi is just offense. It's an extremely inefficient post scorer. The shooting is streaky, but defensively, she's a monster. Gonna make a bunch of plays, can switch, is very good in that defensive scheme in Seattle. Kayla McBride as well. I considered having K-Mac on this team, second team, just an elite shooter, being able to make plays in the mid-range, draw fouls, has been an awesome defender as well, just a good team defender, good helper. I like what she can do for Minnesota and has really exceeded my expectations as well this season. Other honorable mentions include Dearica Hamby, Kelsey Mitchell, and Brittany Griner. Moving to Defensive Player of the Year, this one was tough. I've seen people make the case for A'ja. I've seen Ezi. AT should be in consideration as well. Number 1 defense in Connecticut. It's super close between the number 1 spot, the number 2 spot between Minnesota and Connecticut, but they are the number 1 defense. Alyssa Thomas is the best defender on that team. There's also Dejanay Carrington, but I'll say like Alyssa Thomas's role is a little bit more valuable to me. But still though, my pick is Napheesa Collier. As far as the counting stats, 1.9 blocks, 1.4 steals, but I don't think that tells the full story of just the value she brings defensively. She is a roamer, can make plays in passing lanes, can be this ultimate helper with her length, with her mobility. She can switch. She can also defend in the post as well. Like, Napheesa Collier is one of the most versatile defenders in the modern era just because of her combination of size, length, mobility, and brains behind just being in the right spots. So, as far as some more stats, 92.2 defensive rating with her on the court. With her on the bench this season, 99.1. This is basically the difference between being a league average defense and being like historically one of the best defensive teams of the last 5 or so years. So Napheesa Collier makes a massive difference to this team. It's also Smith, it's also McBride, Bridget Carlton, Courtney Williams, etc., etc. But it all starts with Napheesa Collier. If she wasn't on this team, they're not a number 2 defense. They would still probably be above average, but nowhere near second best defense in being historically one of the best defensive teams when she is on the court. Moving to all defensive teams, Ezi Magbegor, Napheesa Collier, Alyssa Thomas, A'ja Wilson, and Breanna Stewart. For A'ja, she has the most blocks in the league, has been awesome defensively, but I do put a little bit of stock into Las Vegas not being a good or like a really well above average defensive team. I feel like this award should go to best defenders on the best defensive teams. Personally, you can make a case that if they didn't have A'ja, this is like one of the worst defensive teams in the league. But also, I want to give props to the best defensive teams because that's just how I view the award. Different criteria for different people, so I completely understand that. As far as the second team here, Natasha Cloud, Dejanay Carrington, Jonquel Jones, Nneka Ogwumike, and Alana Smith. Other honorable mentions include Jordan Horson, Skylar Diggins-Smith, and Kayla McBride. Cloud, Carrington have been 2 of the best perimeter defenders in basketball. Cloud is unique in the point that she can defend 4, she can defend 3s, Carrington as well, but Cloud's size, strength, she is awesome defending like 4s in the post. She'll probably defend Napheesa Collier in this upcoming series just because of how strong she is and how smart she is defensively. Dejanay Carrington, elite point of attack defender. Connecticut likes to blitz ball screens. Carrington is the primary defender in those actions, defending Caitlin Clark, defending Skylar Diggins-Smith. Any point guard in the league, Dejanay Carrington is taking those matchups every single game. Jonquel Jones, I wouldn't say has been as valuable defensively as Stewie. Stewie plays a similar role to Napheesa Collier in terms of being this roaming help defender, can make a ton of plays with her length, her size. Jonquel Jones has been one of the best defenders in basketball in terms of being this rim protector that can clear up things, can also handle her own in space as well. Nneka is just super, super solid. This Seattle defense is very good, and Nneka plays a role in that as being the secondary rim protector next to Ezi Magbegor. And I've talked about it with Smith, just been one of the best defenders in basketball this season. Rookie of the Year, this should be pretty simple, pretty quick. Caitlin Clark should be the unanimous Rookie of the Year pick this year. 19 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 53% from 2, 34% from 3, 91% from the line. I would also consider Rickea Jackson, Angel Reese, and Leonie Phoebish in terms of like all rookie locks. There should be no debate. If they aren't on all rookie team, when you're on a rookie team, it's just a wrong ballot, in my opinion. They've been awesome this season. Phoebish contributing to an awesome New York team. Rickea has been an excellent scorer, continues to progress over the course of her rookie season in terms of her shooting, her processing, her defense. Angel as well, the rebounding, the energy. She is a blast to watch as well. Like I said with Phoebish, she is my pick for 6th player of the year. 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. The counting numbers don't blow your mind, but you have to consider this New York team has so many mouths to feed with Sabrina, with Jonquel Jones, Stewie, Benijah Laney Hamilton, Courtney Vandersloot. So many stars on this team, but Phoebish is an excellent team defender. She can spread the floor. She can make catch and shoot threes. She doesn't really take off the dribble threes. She doesn't really self-create in the mid-range, draw fouls, but she is just an excellent 3-and-D off-ball wing at 6'4". It's insane. I mentioned it in many videos to this point. She is a wing at 6'4". You think 6'4" is like a big, but no, she's far from a big and is someone to watch long-term for New York. Only being 24-ish, 24, 25 years old, she has a bright future in this league as like one of the best role players in basketball, in my opinion. Moving to the most heavily debated award, from what I've seen, it's Most Improved Player. I think people's approach to what Most Improved Player is a lot different than mine is. For example, Dearica Hamby is one of the 10 to 15 best players in the W this season. Last season, she was far from that. So if you just go from that, yeah, she's improved, but also she's been an all-star. She's been a high-level player. It just wasn't last season. So I don't think you can consider her. She's been a high-level player before. Same with like Kennedy Carter. And then for Dejanay Carrington, she's a favorite for this award for a lot of people. I don't understand that. Like, I understand from the standpoint that she's scoring more points this season. Why shouldn't she be the favorite for the award? But also, her efficiency is around the same mark. Her defense is good. It's elite. It's one of the best defensive wings in basketball. But also, she was an elite defender last season as well. So I don't think that's like some massive leap there. I think her Most Improved Player season opportunity was last year. She would probably be my pick if her efficiency was like way better, but she still struggles as a half-court finisher, and the shooting is streaky as well. But Bridget Carleton, on the other hand, 3.2 points last season, also 37% from 2, 34% from 3. In comparison to this season, 2024, she has been like one of the 30 best players in the W, in my opinion. 9.6 points, 3.8 rebounds, 44% from 2, 44% from 3, one of the best shooters in the league. Just off-ball shooting, can also make some pull-up threes occasionally, not high volume, but she can make them in spurts. Just a 3-and-D wing, can make plays, can make quick decisions as a passer, can defend, just the perfect role player, and she's taken so many strides because heading into the season, I'll be honest, I didn't really know if she would be on a WNBA roster like a year from now. Like, I knew she was going to be on the team in 2024, but if she repeated what she did last season, there's a chance she wouldn't be on the Minnesota Lynx a year from now. Maybe she would, maybe she wouldn't, but it wasn't looking great for her. But she's been awesome this year, completely changed my mind. I was way wrong on her to have that expectation, but she's been awesome, has been a blast to watch. You just really love these role players that can just fill so many gaps. Also would consider Jordan Horston and Lexi Hull. The reason Lexi Hull isn't my pick over Carleton is she doesn't play as many minutes. Also, Lexi is pretty much all of her production has come in the last 20 games of the season. She was very bad in the first part of the season. I know she wasn't playing as many minutes, but also I think the overall season as a whole matters, and her minutes over the last 20 games are way higher than they were in the first part of the season. So she's definitely a candidate for me, but Bridget Carleton in a similar role, similar type of player in terms of being this off-ball shooter, I think she's my pick pretty easily at this point, but I would understand if you said Horson or Hull as well. For Coach of the Year, Cheryl Reeve, Minnesota, we've talked about it, 30-10. Heading into the season, I had them outside the playoffs. This team is awesome, and Cheryl Reeve is the best coach in the W, possibly. Depends on what your definition of best coach is. But what she's done this season, she has absolutely been the most valuable coach to what they've done offensively, defensively. The schemes are brilliant. But I would consider Stephanie White, Sandy Brondello, and Eric Tebow. I know Washington didn't make the playoffs this season, but they had so many injuries. They started off so bad and almost made the playoffs, like historically bad. They were like 0-13 to start the year. He deserves credit for that, and I wouldn't say he's my favorite or runner-up for this award, but I want to give him a shout there because Washington does have a bright future ahead. So let me know what you agree and disagree with. Subscribe for more WNBA content. Plenty more on the way on this channel, covering basketball at a lot of different levels, international, college, the W, high school even. We'll have some stuff coming on that in the future as well. Let me know what you want to see more of in the comments below. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all next time.